and everything, but my brother had a gun at home, and I emptied it and I took it with me to school, just in case there was some shit, and I would point it and then hopefully scare somebody. But Gary got in the car with me at school, and I told him it was in the glove compartment. I guess he was looking at it, and I found out later on that somebody snitched him off, saying he had a gun to school for the fight, and he got called down to Scambray's office. And I don't know if I don't remember all the details, but I don't know if he got kicked out of school or not, but he never said it wasn't mine, it was Paul's. He took the hit. And I go, holy shit. Not too many guys, a lot of people just go, blah, 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 yeah, it was. And I go, that's it. He's so solid. He was that kind of person. And then I opened a place in Merced, and Pam and her family, the sister and brother-in-law and daughter, they would come down and meet at the restaurant. And then we started going to 49er games, and it just, this friendship just continued and continued and continued on. And then all of a sudden the Mad group came up. And so we would either meet at Merced a few times, but mostly at the Mad Duck on Herndon and Willow. And we all just stayed together. It was just, it's a beautiful thing. And Gary, living in Las Vegas, always wanted to be part of it, and it was just a difficult, a trip to do. And then it was the one year that he had his liver transplant. This was like 21 years ago. And Pamela and I were on the phone every day, and I was trying to comfort her. I didn't know who the hell was comforting me, but here's a guy that we grew up together, and the liver transplant, he was gonna be gone if it didn't happen. And so she calls me up and says they just did it, and we're all saying the prayer, and then all of a sudden she calls me back, and I don't know if it was an hour later, whatever it was, but she says it didn't take. She calls me back again. They found another one. I go, okay, Gary's got some bull here. They found another one. How do you find two livers? And so me and the boys, I talked to Wally's back there, Wally and Masichi. We lost Masichi a couple of months ago too, and so it was Masichi and Ralph Sador and Wally, and we all we drove to UCLA, and he looked so weak, but he had a smile this fucking big. He was so happy to see us. And he kicked ass. They say that to get a liver transplant, it's 10, 12 years max. He's going on 21, and still didn't kick his ass. The cancer got him at the end. But I moved to Washington because my daughter got married, and so he knew my wife was sick, and he's sick as a dog. But he would call me 3 times a week, put me on the speakerphone. My wife and I would always have our breakfast at the island in the kitchen, and he was so he's so entertaining. He can tell stories like nobody else, So I would just put the phone down, and my wife would just laugh her ass off, and it was so beautiful for me because she wasn't feeling good, and it meant a lot to me. I'm sorry, guys. It just meant a lot to me. So we just stayed in touch. For either I called him, he called me. We inboxed each other on Facebook, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing it right now, and I just want to. Pamela took such good care of him. And I'm screwing up right here. I'm sorry. In this last couple of weeks with him, I knew what I went through with Rosemary, and I knew it was over for him. Right? But there's no way I was, I kept on the phone with Kamala, and of course she's hoping for the best, and they were going to go to UCLA, they were going to do this, they were going to do that, and I knew there was no way, and because it happened to my wife, and the poor guy was in so much pain. So much pain. Pamela would tell him if he moved this, he moved that, he would just scream and holler, but he would never tell me that. He would never tell me that. And, anyways, I'm really rambling here, guys. I'm glad we're all here for him. There was one more story. I think Richard. They had a breezeway coming out of the Princeton. And I remember riding on my bicycle, and here comes Gary. He's just screaming, and he's holding this ear. I mean, yelling like a little bitch, just ah! And I guess Richard had finally had enough with him. Just cold-cocked him in the ear. So now Gary's in the middle of the street, and he's calling every mother in the building, and it was good times. And then there's Marla and Louis Masici here. We're all the same age, and all of a sudden, Mrs. Poulsen's pregnant, and Flora Masici's pregnant at the same time. I'm going, what's in the water in this neighborhood over here? And this is, many years later. And but another thing Mr. Poulsen did for Richard and Gary, he built this game room above the house. It was the only two-story house in the neighborhood. And I'm going, okay, I'm jealous here. This is fantastic. A pool table, stairs up. I mean, you were isolated. And and there was a few parties up there during high school. I was working, I couldn't go to the parties and I would fake the deliveries, and I would go over there and have a few beers, and then I'd call my brother saying, I can't find this address, So, anyways, we just had some beautiful times, and thank you for putting up with me, and thank you for, I'm sorry, Pamela. Okay.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. You were a good friend to him, too.
Thank you.